amazing third graders. Miss Cummings here, and today we are in ARC Unit 2, Week 4, Day 3. And I think Miss Cummings is going to have her crossover skills challenged by you. But before we get into it, let's start off with our I cans. I can identify the main topic and retell key details of a text. I can identify the main topic of a paragraph within the text, and I can explain how key details support the topic and the main idea. Remember, over the next 9 weeks, we'll be reading, writing, and talking about the big ideas of weather and climate. You will research a topic dealing with weather, and you're gonna write your own informational book. I know. It's exciting. Now, for us to be able to write an informational text, we must understand them. And we must make sure that our text has a main idea with supporting details throughout. So we gotta practice understanding main idea and supporting details. And we're not gonna just do it the corny old way. We're gonna have a little bit of fun. We're gonna play a little bit of trash get ball. But wait a minute. I don't think I can wear this to play trash get ball. Here's how you play trash get ball. So Ms. Cummings will present a topic and a main idea and 4 supporting details. We must pick the best 3 supporting details and toss the irrelevant key detail to earn points. Here's what you're going to need. First of all, you'll need 5 pieces of recycled paper, meaning don't just go balling up paper around the house, brand new paper. Let's ask permission and let's make sure that the paper is paper that we really don't need. Next, you'll need a piece of paper to record your score on. And you'll need a large empty bowl or empty basket or empty trash can to toss your basketballs, or should I say trash get balls in. Are you ready? So the first one, we're looking at the topic. So the topic is pizza, and the main idea is pizza is a popular food in the US. So we're gonna decide which ones stay because they support the main idea and the topics, and which ones get the toss because they don't. All right, let's look at our first supporting detail. 94% of Americans eat pizza regularly. Does that support that pizza is a popular food in the US? What do you think? Bounce if you say we agree. Shoot it if you say it is not a supporting detail. If you dribbled, you're correct. It definitely supports the idea that pizza is popular if 94% of Americans are eating it regularly. Let's look at the next one. American pizza often has vegetable oil or shortening mixed into the dough. What do you think? Dribble it if you say, yes, that supports the idea that pizza is a popular food in the US. Shoot it if you say, no way, Jose. If you said, no way, Jose, you are correct. Although it sounds yummy and delicious, it does not attest to how popular pizza is in the US. Let's look at our next one. Pizza became most popular in America after soldiers stationed in Italy returned from World War II. Does it support that pizza is a popular food in the US? Dribble if you say yes, shoot if you say no. If you dribbled on this one, you're right. It definitely talks about how popular and how it became popular in America. And finally, about 3 million pizzas are sold in the US each year. Does that support the idea that pizza is a popular food in the US? It definitely does. I hope you dribbled on that one because if 3 billion pizzas are sold, it's pretty popular. So let's pick up our ball that we dropped and let's give it a shot. Now, if you want to make this challenging, you can place this as far away as you like. But because Miss Cummings is not that great at trash get ball, I have mine's kind of close. Now, this is for 3 points. Here we go. You ready? Are you going to shoot off? All right. I missed. Did you make it? Good for you. If you made it, you're going to write down your 3 points on your extra scrap sheet of paper. Unfortunately, I don't get to. Let's keep rolling. All right. Hopefully you shot your shot and you recorded your points. So Ms. Cummings missed that last shot, so it's 0 to whatever points you got. All right, so next our topic is LeBron James. Our main idea is LeBron James gives to charity. Let's look at our supporting details and see if they really support our main idea and topic. LeBron James is widely considered to be one of the greatest basketball players in NBA history. It definitely supports our topic, but does it support the idea that he gives to charity? Dribble if you say yes and shoot it if you say no. Now, hold on to your thought with that one, because sometimes we have to read all the facts to see which ones are the actual best. So let's hold on to that one. LeBron James donates money to the Boys and Girls Club yearly. Does this support the idea that LeBron James gives to charity? Dribble if you say yes and shoot it if you say no. Well, it definitely says donates. To donate is to give, and a charity is the Boys and Girls Club. So if you dribbled on this one, you're right. It stays. It's a supporting detail. LeBron James donates to the After School All-Stars. Dribble if you say yes, and shoot if you say no way, Jose. If you said you dribbled, then you are on the money because it says the word donates, which again means to give or to give to a charity, and the charity is After School All-Stars. Amazing job. This one stays. He set up the LeBron James Family Foundation. The foundation raises and donates money for several charities. Dribble if you say it stays, shoot it if you say it goes. Well, it definitely says charities in the sentence, and it's also talking about LeBron James, so it definitely supports our main idea that LeBron James gives to charity. So now let's do a reflection. Out of all the supporting details, although each of them may support, which one supports the least when we're talking about LeBron James gives to charity? I'll give you a second. If you selected LeBron James is widely considered to be one of the greatest basketball players in NBA history, you are right, and it's time for us to shoot for 2 points. All right, here we go. Miss Cummings, I'm gonna shoot my shot, and I'm gonna make it, because we're competing. Here we go. I missed it again. Did you make it at home? Hopefully you're a way better shot than me. I'm no genius, but I have a feeling that I'm trailing in the scores. Let's keep going, see if I can catch up. Now we're talking tornadoes for 1 point. We're talking tornadoes, and our main idea is that tornadoes are dangerous. All right, let's look at our supporting details. With winds of over 200 miles per hour, tornadoes can flatten houses. Does this supporting detail support the idea that tornadoes are dangerous? If you say yes, give me some of that fancy dribbling, and if you say no, give it a nice shot. If you dribbled, you're right. This does support the idea that tornadoes are dangerous. Let's look at the next one. Wind speeds that high can cause automobiles to become airborne, rip ordinary homes to shreds, and turn broken glass and other debris into lethal missiles. Does that sound dangerous to you? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Does that support our idea that tornadoes are dangerous? If you say yes, you're going to give that ball a nice dribble, and let me see that footwork. Ooh, nice. If you say no, no way, Jose, that does not support the idea that tornadoes are dangerous, let me see you shoot your shot. Well, if you dribbled, you are on the money because this definitely says that tornadoes are dangerous. Let's look at the next one. The biggest threat to living creatures, including humans, from tornadoes is the flying debris and being tossed about in the wind. Now, does that say that tornadoes are dangerous? If you say yes, dribble, fancy footwork. But if you say no, go ahead and shoot your shot. If you dribbled on that one, you are correct. This definitely says that tornadoes are dangerous. Let's look at our last one. Tornadoes form in the clouds of severe thunderstorms when warm air from the south meets cold air from the north. Does this say to us immediately that tornadoes are dangerous? If you say yes, you're gonna dribble it out, but if you say no, shoot your shot. Well, hopefully you shot that one, because that does not support our main idea. And let's get ready to shoot our shot for 1 point. I need to hear you cheering. Miss Cummings needs it. Go, Miss Cummings. Go, Miss Cummings. All right, here I go. Yes, I got it for 1 point. Did you make it at home? You're the best. All right, so let's keep going. Our topic in this one is hurricanes, also known as tropical cyclones. Main idea, hurricanes are hazardous. Another word for hazardous would be dangerous. So let's look at it. When a hurricane strikes the coast of the United States, it brings with it a number of serious hazards. These hazards include heavy rains, high winds, a storm surge, and even tornadoes. Let's look at the next one. High winds, storm surges, flooding, and tornadoes cause damage to houses and cars that are in the path of a hurricane. Tropical cyclones often produce widespread torrential rains in excess of 6 inches, which may result in deadly, destructive floods. Last one, people in communities near the coast usually have a few days warning as a hurricane approaches. I've read all of these to you, so I want you to take a minute and I want you to think of which ones you would dribble and which ones would you shoot. Which ones best address our main idea, hurricanes are dangerous or hazardous, and which one doesn't really fit? I'll give you a second. If you said dribble, you're correct. If you said dribble, yeah, you're correct. If you said dribble, you're correct. And if you said shoot, well, you just scored, because that is the weakest supporting detail. All right, it's time to shoot your shot while I shoot my shot for 1 point. Here we go. Can you say it one more time? I think it helped the last time. Go, Miss Cummings. Go, Miss Cummings. Go, Miss Cummings. Here we go. Or not. Oh, I missed again. Did you make it? Are you beating me? Okay, so 1 point for me, and congratulations if you're beating Miss Cummings. I told you trash get ball was not my thing. Let's keep pushing. Nickelodeon. I know everybody out there has heard of Nickelodeon. Well, that's our topic. Our main idea is Nickelodeon is a kids network. And when we say kids network, it is for kids to watch on TV. It has programming and television shows just for kids. So we're looking for our supporting details that really support that idea. Here we go. Nick.com has fun games. Dribble or shoot? Let's move to the next one. Programming seen on Nickelodeon includes animated series such as SpongeBob SquarePants, The Loud House, The Casa Grandes, and It's Pony. Does that support the idea that Nickelodeon is for kids? Dribble or shoot? Let's try another one. On January 4th, 1988, Nickelodeon launched Nick Jr., a weekday morning block aimed at preschool children. Dribble or shoot? Last one. Nickelodeon launched on April 1st, 1979 as the first cable channel for children. All right, take a look at each one. Which one do we need to shoot? Because it does not belong. If you said Nick.com has fun games, that's the one we need to shoot. Because although the games are fun, all of these other supporting evidences really targeted the idea that Nickelodeon is a kid network with kid shows. Great work. Now, for 3 points, it's time for Miss Cummings to shoot her shot. This is the final shot that I'm gonna take for 3 points. One more time, please. Just humor me. Go, Miss Cummings. Go, Miss Cummings. Ah, it hit the rim. Miss Cummings ends the game with only 1 point. How many points did you end up with? If you need to, pause the video and add up your score sheet. Now it's time for Read Aloud. We'll be reading from Weather and Climate Exemplar Text Pack Student Edition. Some of your teachers may have given you this text pack. If not, that's okay. You can access it on ARC Bookshelf. Simply log on to NC Ed Cloud, click the Clever button, next click the ARC Bookshelf, and once inside, go down the left column and locate Thematic Libraries. Once under Thematic Libraries, check out 3rd grade, Unit 2, Weather. Once you scroll around, you'll be able to locate Weather and Climate Exemplar Text Pack Student Edition. Today we'll be reading weather data on page 20. Let's get into it. Weather data. Now, before we read, I want you to know that we'll be pulling out the topic, some supporting details, and the main idea. Let's go. Weather data. Temperature. Temperature is the measure of how hot or cold something is. Everything has a temperature. We measure the temperature outside to tell us how hot or cold the air is. Meteorologists use a tool called a thermometer to measure air temperature. Weather reports can show air temperature data in degrees of Fahrenheit or degrees of Celsius. Weather reports show the high and low temperature of each day. The high is the hottest temperature of the day, and the low is the coldest temperature. Let's talk about the topic. What is this text all about? Take a beat and think. When I count to 3, let's shout it to each other. 1, 2, 3. Temperature. That's right. The topic is temperature. Next, what are some things the author is saying about temperature? See if you can zoom into the text and pull out a few things the author says about temperature. I noticed that one thing the text says about temperature is that meteorologists measure temperature with a thermometer. The next thing I noticed is that temperature is measured in Fahrenheit and Celsius. Finally, I also noticed that the high is the hottest temperature and the low is the lowest temperature. Now, with these supporting or key details, what is the big idea of the text? What does the author want me to know or learn from the text? Take a minute and formulate your own sentence. Let's see if we came up with the same thing. Now, to me, I feel like with these key details, the author is trying to show me or tell me how to measure temperature. Did you come up with the same thing? All right, give me a high five. All right, 3rd graders, we have worked hard. It is time for us to take a little bit of a break. Go ahead and stand up right where you are and let's get that blood flowing. We're gonna do freeze dancing. If you've never freeze danced before, no worries, it's simple. When you hear the music, you boogie. And when the music stops, you freeze. All right, here we go. DJ, drop the music. Freeze! 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 Excellent work, 3rd graders. You guys have some of the best moves in the entire county. Now, it's your favorite time. It's my favorite time. It's our favorite time. It's what? 30-minute reading time. That's right. It is 30-minute reading time. The first thing we need to do is we need to locate the right books. Remember, we're writing our own informational book on a weather phenomenon of our choice. So we want to select books that go with the weather phenomenon that we've selected. If we're talking about tornadoes in our informational book, we need to be researching tornadoes during our 30-minute reading time. All right, so how do we locate the right books? All you have to do is log on to NC Ed Cloud, click the Clever app, click the ARC Bookshelf app. Then, once inside, go to the Thematic Libraries. Once inside there, go ahead and select 3rd grade, Unit 2, Weather. Scroll around and see what you can find for your 30-minute reading time. Let's set our focus. Today, what you're going to do is take a section of the book that you're reading, or take the entire book if you feel comfortable, and express what's the topic, what are some supporting or key details, and what is the main idea of your text, or a selection within your text. Remember to find a quiet place where you can really focus. Try to find some books that you can read independently for the most part, and put away any electronics. We don't want you to be distracted. You can, however, use your electronics to set a timer if necessary, but remember, no scrolling on social media. Finally, remember to read, 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 and if I may add, research. And I'll see you right back here for some writing. Welcome back, my little meteorologists. I hope you got some great information for your informational book that you're going to write. Okay, so let's jump into some writing. Remember, earlier today, we looked at the topic, main idea, and supporting or key details of this particular article. We said that the topic was temperature. We said that the key details or supporting details was meteorologists measure temperature with a thermometer. Temperature is measured in Fahrenheit and Celsius. The high is the hottest temperature and the low is the lowest temperature. We decided that the main idea was how to measure temperature. Now, we're going to take that information and write a 4-point summary. So let's get into it. The first thing we want to do, according to our rubric, is we want to introduce the text and the author. So it may sound like I read Weather Data by Jason Flesher. Now I want you to know that I got the author's name from the table of contents of the exemplar package that we're using. Next, 1.4, telling the topic. The topic is, remember we said the topic is temperature. So we will literally say the topic is temperature. The next one, identify a main idea. The main idea is how to measure temperature. The main idea is how to measure temperature. And lastly, we're going to throw our key details right into the mix. One key detail is that meteorologists measure temperature with a thermometer. Another detail is that temperature is measured in Fahrenheit and Celsius. Lastly, the high is the hottest temperature and the low is the lowest temperature. If we mash that all together, we've got a 4-point summary that really flows. Let's check it out. I read Weather Data by Jason Flesher. The topic is temperature. The main idea is how to measure temperature. One key detail is that meteorologists measure temperature with a thermometer. Another detail is that temperature is measured in Fahrenheit and Celsius. Lastly, the high is the hottest temperature and the low is the lowest temperature. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now it's your turn. You're going to use the text that you used during 30-minute reading to help you create your 4-point summary. You're going to tell what the topic, the main idea, and the supporting details are in your 4-point summary, and I know it's going to rock. Make sure you show that summary to your teachers, and I will see you back here for more ARC lessons soon.